Good morning, my friends. How is everyone doing? How was your Labor Day long weekend, the last one of the year? We had a really fun and informative members live yesterday. It was pretty crazy to say the least. So if you missed it, go back and check it out. I am planning on doing 2 shows today. But I don't know if the second show is going to be about the YouTuber in Utah, Ruby, and her business partner, Jody, doing all kinds of nasty stuff, or if we're going to cover the Murdaugh press conference where he wants a second trial. They say there's new evidence. Not gonna hold my breath. Walking Dead said, woohoo, 2 for Tuesday. You got that right. Of course, today's topic of the day is the chick that won't quit, and that is Alexees Treviso. Petition is floating around. It's racking up the signatures left and right. I don't ask anyone to sign a petition. I'll put it out there, and if they decide that they want to stand behind it, then they can sign it. What we do know is that her little baby was found wrapped in a trash bag, face down in a trash can. He had air in his lungs and belly. Eyewitnesses said that the trash bag was suctioned to his face. Again, I'm no doctor, but that would mean that he was trying to breathe. You see, if he came out dead, he wouldn't be trying to take a breath. True Crime in Beat. I was reading the wrong thing. True Crime in Pink. Welcome, welcome. We have new names in here. I'm going to put the members link up. If anybody wants to grab a membership, it is $2, and we have a lot of fun on our members' lives. Let's take a second and tell everybody Happy Tuesday. So glad you all are here. Lisa Biss is a new YouTube member. Welcome to the family. So glad you're here. Now, I can't see the poll from here. Oh, hang on. Pat K is making it rain. Pat just gifted 5 Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Get your umbrellas. It's raining. And I see that our friend Wendy found the new emojis. You got that right. Trev said best place to get a membership is right here at CLL. You bet. Mama K's in the house. Carly's in the house. Some of you I was chatting with at the pre-party. And if I missed you, I apologize. I will get you in the comments because you guys have the best comments. One comment, and I'm going to go back over it here in a second, is that years ago, this case would have been a slam dunk. No judge would have let her bond out. They would have set the bond so unreasonably high that she would be sitting in jail awaiting trial, which, from what I'm reading, is coming up next month. They obviously have to do testing when you go to the hospital, but these are medical professionals. I have a feeling the minute that she presented to the hospital, They weren't really worried about getting her blood back or piss on a stick because she's clearly pregnant. Clearly pregnant. She goes to the bathroom saying that she can't hold it. Does not say a word to anyone that she just gave birth. She hops back in the bed after lying to the entire staff and her mother. Big deal about lying to her mother. See, I told you I'm not pregnant. I'm a virgin. Yeah, there's no mangers in Artesia, New Mexico. Sorry. One thing I'm not sorry for is Tanya's making it rain too. She just gifted Crime Lines and Lies memberships. All right, let's get to the comments from the last show. I'm going to post the link if you want to come up and chat with me about this. I cannot see the poll. How are we doing on the poll? Because I'm seeing a lot of comments about this. Some people are like, well, why can't she go to college? She hasn't been convicted. Well, in my opinion, she's charged with murder. Some people are just like, hell no, all around. I mean, don't the other students have rights? Maybe they don't want a person that's charged with murder on the campus. Some people are like, you know what? If she's acquitted, then, well, true. Let's get to the comments. Harper Grace said, so convenient. She was in the hospital to get medical treatment for herself, but not for her baby. Why on earth are they allowing her to go to college? Is she just going to get a PhD and partying and getting away with murder? Yeah. She put the baby in the trash can. Mama Mia said 20 years ago this chick would have been in jail awaiting her trial. Oh, I agree. Instead, in 2023, she has prom, graduation, college, boyfriend. The world is so upside down. I just can't with these people. Everybody is a victim these days. Social media, McDonald's, the hospital, the nurse are all preying on poor Lexi, according to her attorney. Lexi needs to grow the hell up and take full responsibility for her actions. She should plead guilty and begin her penance. As a side, what college accepted this lunatic? Well, that would be New Mexico and Las Cruces. I don't know when she was originally accepted, so I'm really not going to put it on the college, but you've got that right. This would have been a slam dunk years ago. But we have a different society now, and there are some people that believe that what she did is the same as birth control or abortion. Now, call me old-fashioned, but I don't see how killing a full-term baby, suffocating him at the hospital when she could have handed him out the door to the medical staff, is anywhere near the same as birth control. The only witness in that bathroom was Alexees, and her statements were, it wasn't breathing. And then she said, I was scared. Comrie said from the last show, she said JTB made a great point about what school would want her. They should withdraw her acceptance. There's been kids who have been denied for less. You got that right. You got that right. It's hard to get into universities. And she's right. There are a lot, and she is charged with murder, not manslaughter, not jaywalking, not speeding. She is charged with murder. There might be some parents that don't want her around the campus, even though she's doing most of her learning via Zoom. But she would have to go to campus at some point to take tests and things like that. Thank you, Big T, for making it rain. She is gifting out Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Let's get to this. Now, call me a bit of a conspiracy theorist on this one. I am wondering if her attorney or mother is not behind this petition, which sounds kind of crazy for me to say, but it happened very fast after the court hearing we went through, or the judge said, oh yeah, she can go to college or whatever. And he's so outraged over it. He's calling it prejudiced nonsense. Well, what's prejudiced about it? Some people don't want someone charged with murder hanging around the campus. It just seems odd. I'm going to show you the petition here in a second. A petition to kick the teen accused of killing her baby by placing it in a hospital trash can emerged last week. It has since garnered more than 20,000 signatures from concerned citizens. Gary Mitchell, who will represent Treviso at her upcoming murder trial, has slammed the petition as a bunch of prejudiced nonsense. The lawyer defending a New Mexico teenager accused of murdering her newborn baby by leaving his body in a hospital bathroom bin has hit back at a petition to remove her from college. At her upcoming murder trial, he will be representing her. He called the 20,000-strong petition to kick the teen off the campus a bunch of prejudiced nonsense. The close-minded, biased, and prejudiced signers, this is all in quotes. These are trigger words. Biased, prejudiced signers of this petition, Mitchell told Fox News, would realize that Alexee did not kill her baby if they had all the facts. Treviso gave birth in the bathroom of the Artesia General Hospital on January 27th after showing up complaining of back pain. Now, what Gary is not saying is that this was no secret to Alexee that she was pregnant. You see, she had been going to school. She had been talking to other classmates, not only about being pregnant, as you see on the screen, she's clearly pregnant, but she went as far as to talk about what she planned to name her baby. And they will, I'm sure, call those people. After delivering her baby boy alone, she put his body in a trash can where cleaners discovered it. Now, I'm going to help Daily Mail out here. She didn't just put him in the trash can. She put a plastic bag around his head and put him face down in the trash can. The student will now stand trial for murder starting October 2nd, with prosecutors alleging she killed the baby by strangling him, hinging their case on the fact that the baby allegedly had air in its lungs when he died. Treviso claims the baby was stillborn, and her lawyer argues hospital staff killed the baby by giving the teen medications like morphine, despite knowing that she was pregnant. Absolutely crazy. Crazy. Gamer Lover said, sorry, been late watching. If they find that escaped dude from jail. Boy, if that isn't something else, let me tell you. If that isn't something else. Now, Daily Mail is putting out who started the petition, but if you look at change.org, it basically just says started by Change Petition. Normally, there's a name. That's the reason I wondered if this was not some sort of defense ploy to get some sympathy for Alexei. It says, we, concerned citizens of New Mexico, call upon the authorities and educational institutions to take immediate action to prevent Alexei Treviso from pursuing a career in nursing or social work or any field of education. We believe that her recent actions, which include being charged with the murder of her newborn baby by throwing the infant into a trash can, demonstrate an alarming lack of empathy and disregard for human life. I'm going to agree with that 100%. Because you give birth to your baby, you don't throw it in the trash can. We have another case which needs to be upgraded to murder, and it's the case of Michaela Jones. The two people that moved her body are serving time just for illegally disposing of her body. Let's look at what is going on with the petition.
Response: a petition has surfaced online trying to ban the woman from the university. Alexee Treviso is charged with first-degree murder, child abuse, and tampering with evidence in connection to the incident in late January. Treviso went to the hospital with back pain, allegedly not knowing that she was pregnant. 24 hours later, hospital staff found the body of Treviso's son in a bathroom trash can. An autopsy ruled the baby's death a homicide, apparently dying from a lack of oxygen. But defense attorneys argued that Treviso's son was in fact stillborn, and the baby.
Okay, he's going to die on that hill, and it's not going to take Colonel Sanders too long to die on that hill, because if you look, it appears that he's trying out for the remake of the movie Powder. He has zero tint in his skin. But anyway, he was stillborn, but the autopsy does not say he was stillborn at all. That's not what it says. So where is he going to find an expert to go through the baby's ashes and put them back together and say, oh, you're right, Gary, he was stillborn? Because last I read, they had the baby cremated. This also is what old Gary reminds me of.
It was tasty and delicious as it ever was. I'm Colonel Sanders, and I'm back, America. I'm back, America. It's still finger-licking good.
Still finger-licking good. Puppy Lover says, do you think that her mother knew? 100%. 100%. I think Mr. Boyfriend knew. I think his mother knew. I think the kids at school knew. We'll see at the trial next month because I'm going to be streaming it. I'm not going to be surprised if a few teachers and counselors didn't pull her to the side and say, have you noticed your belly getting bigger? You're a little fuller in the face? Have you noticed your boobs aren't really fitting in your bra like they used to? Has your mom talked to you about these things before?
Baby's death was actually a result of hospital malpractice. Last week, Treviso's defense team argued that her bail condition should be modified so she can attend fall classes at New Mexico State University. Treviso was previously banned from contacting her boyfriend, who attends the same university, but the presiding judge sided with the defense since the relationship wasn't deemed violent. As of Monday, more than 13,000 people have signed a petition on change.org.
And now it's over 20,000. And for that judge to not deem his death violent is crazy. Since when is the judge the jury? Since when is the judge the jury? How can she deem it violent? She hasn't seen all the evidence. And don't think if Alexei had handed that baby boy outside of that bathroom door and said, I'm ill-equipped. I told my mom I'm not pregnant. I'm going to go back to my room. Can you make sure? Hey, Rosa would have gone along with it. She'd have told everybody, oh, yeah, she got hurt in cheerleading. Hell, they would have had a GoFundMe.
Asking the university to reconsider Treviso's admission. According to the description, the petition's goal is to, quote, protect vulnerable individuals and ensure their safety. Brian, you think this petition is going to work, that she would be not allowed back in?
I don't think so. So a little over 13,000 people. I looked it up. The New Mexico State University, and they has just a little over 11,000 people. So clearly this is not just the student body. If it is even the student body, it could be people from outside the school. I think this might be dealt with more internally. But also, I'm still stuck on the protecting vulnerable individuals. Who's the vulnerable individual you're talking about? Are you talking about the fact that she's accused of a crime and now you don't want anyone around her because of that? Well, we let people accused of crimes walk among us all the time, even murders. The other thing too is if it's specific to the crime that she committed or she's accused of committing, what do you think she's going to do? Force herself on men, get pregnant, and then get rid of that child again?
Oh my goodness. Are you drinking the same Kool-Aid as the judge? What the hell are you talking about? In what world are we in when someone charged, I'm not saying convicted, charged with murder, not just any murder, the murder of their own child, is free to go to prom? Yes, right there. Living that best life. Check it out. Living that best life. Go to prom, get to walk at high school graduation. They said they don't want her further upset. She didn't know what was going on. You telling me she's never seen a baby before? You're telling me they don't have sex ed in the school? Did she think that her boyfriend was sticking it in the side of her leg? She knew exactly what she was doing.
It's absurd to kind of make
I guess
an
it's the
argument.
idea of an accused murderer. I mean, like, without looking at the facts, that's what they're going to say.
But if it's an accused murderer, then it would make more sense based on how they murdered. Do they stab someone, shoot someone, or take advantage of a child? Because that, the judge already decided she's not a danger to others. That's why she's released on bail.
I guess Brian's making a good point. I always thought you were innocent until proven guilty. But then again, the people who sign this position, do they have a right? Do they have a First Amendment right to put this out there? Could they face any legal consequences for doing this and affecting her career?
Yeah, I mean, they have a First Amendment right, Jesse, but I think here what they are doing is jumping the gun. I mean, you are innocent until you are proven guilty. And here, she was let out. The judge did allow her to go to the college. And frankly, I think they could face intentional infliction of emotional distress, frankly, because—
You mean Treviso would sue them for that?
That is correct.
And just watch that happen in this upside down world we have. Watch this petition hurt her in the feels to no end, and she sues. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And I'm so sick. Jesse, you need to go back to school. You need to get back on the school bus. Innocent until proven guilty is the law, not the citizens. You see, if someone who is accused of, let's say, essay of a child, but they have not been convicted, guess what? You can rally around the neighbors your HOA, your condominium association, your apartment complex, and say, I don't think children are safe. We do not have to live amongst these people. We really don't. Where are the rights of her baby that was born into a toilet and put in a trash can? What about the rights of the students? What are they teaching them? You can commit a murder and show up at school.
Correct, because she's trying to live her life. She's the college. And frankly, I think they could face intentional infliction of emotional distress, frankly, because
You mean Treviso would sue them for that?
that is correct, because she's trying to live her life. She's been allowed out. And now you have these people who are basically claiming that she's going to murder again. And there's no proof of that. And so for that cause of action, as you all know, you have to have outrageous behavior. Now, whether or not it's outrageous to have this petition, actually, I think it is sort of outrageous to have this petition against this young lady. Like Brian said, what is she going to do? So, if that outrageous behavior was intentional, it caused severe emotional distress, I think Treviso could win a claim against them.
But doesn't it matter if she's found guilty? If she's found guilty of murder, then wouldn't that claim not really work? Because the student body would be like, okay, yeah, we were right. She's a murderer.
I think it goes back to the circumstances in which she murdered.
Right.
It doesn't make
Yeah.
Are you worried that she's going to murder you?
I'm not on the campus.
I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not going to have a child with her. But other than that, I don't think there's an issue of fear of murder.
Yeah. All right. When we come back, a popular wing joint is the focus of a lawsuit for their
Okay, I don't care about the wing joint. I'm sure it's very tasty wings. I don't think the argument here, and I'm not an attorney, is I'm not worried about Alexees showing up to the student mixer with a chainsaw, okay? I'm not really worried about her showing up to the first football game or English 101 with a machete. That's not the point. The point is she has been charged with murder. She is out on bond. What is it teaching the other children about how we value life? So they argue innocent until proven guilty. So how about this? If she's acquitted, there's no such thing as proven innocent. It's not guilty, they're acquitted. Then go ahead and get your schooling on. Come on, this is crazy. Now, the Colonel, Gary, is not going to stop with the morphine killing the baby. He's not going to stop. I don't want to get into anyone's personal business, but for those of you that have had children, given birth, I'm sure, unless you did it all natural from beginning to end, you were given something to take the edge off the pain. I know I was. This is going to be a really, really hard argument for him to prove, particularly if what I'm reading is correct and the baby has been cremated.
Labor is a painful process, and patients oftentimes will come to the office and ask, what can I do during labor to help me? There's a wide variety of options. There's some natural options that sometimes patients pursue, options to help them relax during labor, to help deal with the pain during labor, and oftentimes patients can find classes in the community that educate them. During the course of labor and delivery, the patient has the option of receiving medicine through an IV, which helps take the edge off labor. We use medicines like morphine or morphine-related products to help them relax during labor, to help receive some pain relief. A majority of patients who desire pain relief during labor choose to have an epidural, which is a very quick and safe procedure that the anesthesiologist performs. The advantages to an epidural is it doesn't make you tired, so you're able to enjoy your labor. You're able to be awake and aware when your baby.
Did he just say you're able to enjoy your labor? I got to hear that again. I'm about to kick this computer into the road.
anesthesiologist performs. The advantages to an epidural is it doesn't make you tired, so you're able to enjoy your labor. You're able to be awake and aware when your baby's born and enjoy that experience with your family and with your spouse. And epidural anesthetic too has become much more safe. We use lower doses of medicine because they use combinations of medicine now which provide pain relief without having significant side effects.
No significant side effects. Now, baby 2 and 3 for me were like they walked out of a hallway. Don't tell my husband that. He's going to be like, what? The first one we know takes a long time. So when I hear, well, that way you can just kick back, relax, and enjoy your labor. If that's not an oxymoron, gotta be friggin' kidding me. God. Here's another one. Again, how the hell is Gary going to, especially if it's the truth and her baby has been cremated, how is he going to prove from the autopsy that we have seen that the morphine stopped his breathing and he was stillborn, even though there was air and lungs in his belly and the plastic bag was suctioned to his little face?
You mentioned that when you were 8 weeks along, you went into the ER and they gave you morphine for abdominal pain, and you're wondering if that's going to affect your baby. And the short answer to your question is probably not. Studies have shown that morphine does cross the placental barrier, but it doesn't increase a baby's chances of having congenital anomalies or other complications as compared to women who were never given morphine during their pregnancy. As with all medications, the risk versus the benefit needs to be weighed out when given during pregnancy. We don't always know what effects medications will have on a baby or a mother, and we learn in retrospect after things have been given to mothers when the benefit seems to outweigh the risk, and studies can show what, if any, effects were had on the mother or baby when certain medications were given. Always check with your doctor if you have questions about what's safe during pregnancy. And if you have any other questions for me in the future, feel free to ask them on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Intermountain Moms, and recommend us to your friends and family too.
I do. I'm going to write a comment and say, can you explain to me how to enjoy labor? Did someone bring a mariachi band into the hospital room and serve margaritas? I don't have that recollection of it. Absolutely crazy. Last week we spoke about Leilani Simon. She got her GED in the pokey. She wants to go to college. She will have to do it from behind bars because she hasn't seen trial, has not been acquitted. Not that she will be. Now, what I want to know is if the argument is not Leilani, sorry, I'm all over the place. If what Alexees did is birth control and the same as abortion, then at what age do we cut that off? Because Leilani is accused of murdering her son Quentin and putting him in a dumpster. Alexees is accused of suffocating her baby and putting him in a trash can. So one gets to go enjoy the campus life, walk across the stage at graduation, go to prom, and the other one is behind bars. It's a conversation for everyone to have because everything that I'm reading, and I'm no doctor, he was born alive. I think it's damn sick. I think it is damn sick. Let's look at this. I know we've been through it before, but the jury is going to see this. They're going to see all of this testimony from this hospital staff who are medical professionals. Colonel Sanders is not. He is not. He is just throwing as much shit at the wall as he can to see what sticks.
As tasty and delicious as it ever was. I'm Colonel Sanders. And I'm back, America. I'm back, America. It's still finger-licking good.
Damn nuts. Listen to this.
Anything that, I pray to God I never see it again.
It's what seasoned medical professionals called a bloody massacre, comparing this crime scene to a horror movie. Brand new body camera captures the unsettling aftermath when a high schooler gave birth in an emergency room bathroom, allegedly killing her newborn son.
I've never, ever seen a reaction like that girl.
On January 27th, 19-year-old Alexees Treviso was admitted to an Artesia, New Mexico emergency room after complaining of back pain. Her newborn son was later found stuffed inside a trash can in a bloody bathroom she had just used. The high school senior was charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence before her graduation.
We discovered a dead baby in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. It came out of me and I didn't know what to do.
I'm sorry. It came out of me and I didn't know what to do. That's what she said. The jury will hear this. Now, her attorney is arguing this under the guidelines of HIPAA. He is saying that the only thing that should be introduced in the criminal trial is what happened in the bathroom. Her statements before and after is what he's arguing. And if this judge agrees with him, well, then we have a big problem because these are her words. She said she had to poop really bad. I have a feeling she knows the difference between a really big turd and a human baby. She understands her anatomy enough to know what was coming out of where. And she still went back to that bed and didn't say a word to anybody.
The high school senior was charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence before her graduation.
We discovered a dead baby in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. It came out of me and I didn't know what to do.
Long Crime Network first brought you the chilling body camera video last month when medical professionals confronted Treviso about the baby.
See, I told you about this. I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
Now, this has always been a very interesting comment from Rosa. And I don't consider Rosa to be a very interesting person. I've told you about this. What did you tell her about? Killing her child? Or not being honest with Rosa? Who has this conversation with their daughter? By the way, if you happen to notice a bump on your belly and you're no longer having your monthly cycle, or if it looks a little different, if a baby comes out, don't kill it. I told you about this. Crime Story Diva said that means they discussed it ahead of time.
It was not crying or nothing. What did you do to it? Okay.
Now,
it was not crying or nothing. And she's not looking at Rosa. She's looking at the doctor who's looking at Rosa. And Rosa jumps up like she had a whole pack of tacks in her ass and said, "What did you do to it?" Now we have the attorney not wanting any of this put in front of a jury. What did you do to it?
Now we're hearing from medical staff who uncovered the gruesome scene after she gave birth.
When I went in there, it was a bloody massacre.
Body camera video shows police officers speaking with medical staff who worked the night Treviso was admitted into the ER.
She said she needed to go have a bowel movement, and that's kind of when the whole thing happened.
Hospital surveillance.
Now look at her running down the hallway to the bathroom. She said she needed to have a bowel movement. Again, when she got in that bathroom, she knew what was coming out was not doo-doo. Her son had an entire head of hair. I have a feeling as soon as his face was out, she covered it so he couldn't cry. Hence why he was put face down with a trash bag around and more trash on top of him.
This video shows Treviso leave her patient room at 1:38 a.m., waddling toward the bathroom while clutching her back. Treviso remains in the bathroom for 19 minutes as multiple people check on her.
I knocked on the door and I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Yes, I'm fine. I'm just having a hard time going to the bathroom," is what she replied. So I was like, okay.
At some point, I went and kind of checked on her, knocked on the door, seeing if she needed anything. She denied. She said she didn't need anything.
Did you hear anything?
I didn't hear anything.
Flushing, toilet flush?
Yes. After a while, I started hearing. So I probably checked on her 2 to 3 times. I'm not exactly sure. And then I just kept hearing paper towel dispenser and flushing and like the water running. And I knocked in. Did she need anything? Denied anything. And then eventually it got to a point where I said, "You need to come out." And I asked the clerk to get the key to unlock the door, because obviously she locked the door to go to the restroom. And whenever we finally had the key to unlock it, she opened it and just kind of walked out.
Did she say anything at that
She
point?
didn't say anything. She was just looking kind of straight past me and went back.
Yeah. So when they're like, "We're going to unlock this door, you're going to come out." We're hearing all this water. We're hearing the paper towels. We hear some kind of ruckus in there. You need to get out of there. I mean, you're at the hospital. If you can't poop, we can give you something. It's going to be easier if we do it. And she just strolls out. She just strolls out of the bathroom, looks straight at him like a damn sociopath.
Surveillance video captures that moment as Treviso leaves the bathroom and heads back to the patient room. It was then that hospital staff got a look at the bloody bathroom for the first time.
And all I saw was like blood everywhere, like on the walls, on the toilet. It just looked like a horror film.
Police speak to multiple people who saw the bathroom, describing fresh blood on the walls, floor, and near the toilet.
The toilet's right here where you're at, and then the sink's right here. It was like up this way, blood splatter.
What?
Like
In your line of work, what would cause that kind of splatter?
I think something that got pulled out.
In your line of work, what would cause that splatter? Splatter going up the wall. Now, let's not forget the umbilical cord. For those of you, your husband's, boyfriend's, mom, whoever, cut the cord, you got to have a real tight grip. They're slippery. There's a lot going on in that umbilical cord. It's not like cutting a piece of paper. It's not like slicing a hot dog or anything. They're hard to cut. A lot of times doctors are like, "Here, I'll do it for you." Blood all the way up the wall. And she ran and got right back in bed.
Ripped. Like if you rip something and blood just went, it was like once you see the photo, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just.
So like you say, like rip, like something went like that?
Yeah, like when you rip something, or if you cut something and you go, like you swing your hand and blood just splatters.
Okay, so
that's how it looked.
Oh, so this was fresh to you?
Yes, this blood was fresh. You could even smell it.
The blood was fresh. We could even smell it. So what? Obviously, she was on the toilet, so she's not going to be able to spray blood herself. It would be the umbilical cord. Now, there is no way she could have torn that herself. Sorry. I don't care if she's Hulk Hogan. She can't do it. I'm just wondering if she didn't use her teeth. It's been brought up in this chat before too. Maybe that edged thing where you tear out the paper towels, considering where it was on the wall, if she wasn't somehow sawing against it. And of course, she was trying to clean up.
didn't know what this blood was from. We were a little concerned that maybe she had, known that we were gonna figure it out and that she might have harmed herself or something in the restroom. So the doc wanted to go check her, but obviously that wasn't the case.
Unclear as to what had happened, other nursing staff care for Treviso, believing she had a miscarriage.
Oh, she came out of the restroom.
No medical professional really thought she went in that bathroom and gave birth. And we all know that after we have a baby, our bellies don't just go right back to normal. We don't go from a size maternity back to a size 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what I'm talking about. So they're afraid that she was doing something to herself. They saw her with her mother saying, no, I didn't have sex. No, I didn't have sex. I'm still a virgin. I'm still a virgin. So they were afraid she might have gone in there knowing the gig's up and hurt herself. They're on a totally different path, because what reasonable medical professional is going to think that any woman is going to go into a bathroom and give birth alone and cover it up?
There was a little trail of blood from the bathroom back to her room. We went to her room. I went to get her undressed. The doctor came in, explained to her that she had a miscarriage. Her and her mom had a back and forth about it.
The doctor said she had a miscarriage?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said it seems essentially like, I'm not sure the exact words. So it was a few months ago, but she said, it seems that you've suffered from a miscarriage, which didn't seem totally abnormal. It seemed awful miscarriages before they were very bloody. And so.
Was she bloody?
Mm-hmm.
Like
and then
her legs?
Yeah, she had blood all down her legs, and then there was like blood in the bathroom everywhere. So.
Where exactly was the blood and how much?
It was a good amount. It was like on the floor.
Minutes later, cleaning staff arrived to wash up the bathroom.
I was called and to go clean the patient's bathroom in ER around, maybe 2 o'clock or so. I think it was the time. I'm not too sure. So when I went in there, it was a bloody massacre mess.
Could you describe it if possible?
Yeah, there was blood everywhere. There was blood on the floor, on the wall.
Do you remember which wall?
The one behind the toilet, and then the one on the side right here. There's the one where the toilet sits, back of that.
Yeah.
And then on the side.
Where the call button is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And on the floor, everywhere.
After cleaning the entire bathroom twice, the cleaner grabbed the trash bag to toss it away. That's when she discovered the newborn baby.
When I went to go through the trash, I felt that when I picked up the trash and I looked in it, there was trash in it, but I knew that didn't feel like when I picked it up, it was some weight. So I thought it was the trash bags, because we put the trash bags on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started getting the trash out. And then when I did that, I seen that there was a baby in there. And that's when I freaked out and I called Lori and HT, or the nurses up front. And because there was a baby in the trash, and the baby, when I looked at it, the baby was wrapped up like in like at the bottom of the trash can, and with trash on top of it in a trash bag.
And so, how did you see it? Like as soon as you picked it up?
No, after I picked up the trash bag that was on top,
okay,
where they were throwing the trash at. When I picked that up to change it.
Okay, if I was on this jury, that would show me pure deception. Pure deception. Not only did she could have given birth right there in the hospital bed, but she kept saying, no, I'm not pregnant. I'm a virgin. She knew. She runs down the hall. Mind you, she wasn't running when she came back out. You're not going to have that kind of blood all over you if you just had to poo-poo. Puts the baby in the trash, and then she puts other trash on top of it. Of him. I shouldn't say it. That's what Alexees says. On top of her son.
That's when I noticed that there was, when I seen the baby.
You describe the baby?
Yeah, he was about that big. He had hair, and he was like purplish, but still not like pink. You know, I don't know how to describe it. You know, he was like, he wasn't bruised or nothing like that, and he was like purple, pink skin type color.
The cleaner then calls for a nurse who describes the disturbing moment the infant was discovered.
And then when I picked it up, that's when I noticed it even more, because all I saw was black and purple. But once we picked it up, like the bag suctioned to his face. And that's when I yelled for my charge nurse, which was HT.
The bag was suctioned to his face. Why would the bag be suctioned to his face if he was stillborn? And I'm not trying to bring up any horrible memories for those of you that have suffered a stillbirth, but there's no breathing going on.
And I told him, hey, she put her baby in the trash can. So I handed the baby to him. And he took off to the trauma room and opened up the bag. And then that's when we went and got Dr. Vasquez.
Police then hear from the nurse in charge, who says it was clear early on that the newborn was dead.
I go in the bathroom and she goes, something's in the trash can. I'm like, I looked in there, there's a clean liner. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, pick it up. I picked it, I could feel the weight. I knew then we had a serious problem. I just grabbed the trash can and went right across the hall into trauma 2. The liner was pulled out, but there was another trash bag in there in the bottom, but it was all it was rolled up. So I had to tear it apart. And then, of course, I saw the baby in there. So I pulled the baby out, got him on the bed, checked for signs of life. There was absolutely no life whatsoever. I immediately came out of there after I did that, went into the room where she was performing the vaginal exam, and I immediately told her, you have to come out now. And she came out and we went into trauma 2 and she reassessed the baby. At that time, between me and Chris and her, we determined, there was no reason for us to begin any life saving. The baby was completely gone.
Another nurse recalls the same moments.
And could you tell if the baby was alive or
They did
passed?
not look alive.
It didn't look
They
alive.
They looked. But also, I think the time that passed since she left the bathroom and it being in the bag, it was just.
How long do you think that was?
Maybe like 10 or 15 minutes. I just have a guess. I don't know. We brought the baby up. We called the doctor, obviously, out of the room from her exam, and we came in, doc assessed the baby, and basically determined it was not viable to completely work the baby and all of that. So
That nurse tells officers he believes Treviso knew she was pregnant and wanted to hide it from medical staff.
it seemed like we were being just deceived from the beginning, but that's just my take on it.
It seems like we were being deceived from the beginning. Damn right you were. Absolutely you were. She said she was a virgin. You ever seen a virgin that looks like this at cheerleading? Look at her belly. That's a baby bump. Look at her at prom a few months after. She knew. And you can't tell me Mr. Boyfriend didn't know. We know how teenagers are. With their hormones, they can't get enough of each other. You're telling me that he honestly believed this was all from eating McDonald's every day?
She was very manipulative with us, and it was at least what it seemed like to me. She didn't want you to discover, that she was pregnant, and she wore really baggy clothing. She wouldn't sit still for you. I'm sure she was very uncomfortable too, but yeah, she wouldn't allow you to do it.
It seemed like she'd been trying to hide this pregnancy from her mother for some time. Mm-hmm. So if you know you're pregnant, you're not going to continue taking birth control pills. But if you're trying to hide it, you might start taking weight loss medications. That's just kind of what it seemed like in my head.
Other staff described the lengths Treviso allegedly went to keep her pregnancy and birth a secret.
The umbilical cord looked like an animal had torn it apart.
And there it is. The umbilical cord looked like an animal had torn it apart. I don't think she brought any surgical shears with her to the hospital.
Animal had tore it apart. Like, you know how, have you ever eaten string cheese? And you know, when you twist it, that's how the bottom of the bell cord looked. And I just remember it caught my eye, and I was like, God, I was like, this chick really ripped this thing apart.
This chick really ripped this thing apart. Didn't ask anyone for help. She was adamant she was going to cover this up.
After this, medical staff called the police and alert Treviso about their discovery.
I'm sorry about this, but in terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
And nothing was crying. It came out with nothing.
And then I went in there to talk to the patient and asked her why was the baby in the trash can.
And what did she say?
She said that it just came out of her and she didn't know what to do.
And I said, did your baby take at least one breath when it first happened? Or did it take at least one breath, or was it not breathing? And then she kind of looked at me in the face and the eyes, and she was like, well, can I tell you? And I said, tell me what? And she said, so I've been having this bad abdominal pain, she said, and we came here to the ER, and when they brought me back here to this room, I felt like I needed to go poop. She said, and I asked if I could go to the bathroom. She said, and so when they said, yeah, that I could go to the bathroom, she said, when I sat on the toilet, she said, it just all fell out. And she said, but when I had it in my arms, it wasn't breathing, it wasn't moving. And so, of course, you want to be very, very judgmental at that time, and you have to bite your tongue sometimes. But, you know, my first reaction was like, I wanted to say, hey, well, then why wouldn't you call us for help? But I didn't. She said, so he wasn't moving, he wasn't breathing.
What would be the reason, I'm asking all of you, that Alexei would not call for help? She had her mother down the hall, a plethora of nurses and doctors on the other side of the door. She could have just pulled the cord. What would be the reason for her not asking for help? Britt said she didn't want the baby to survive. If she was that stunned that a baby came out of her when she thought she had to poop, she would have been floored. She would have been shocked. She would have been screaming, what is going on? Did she think they were just going to grab the trash bag and throw it in the incinerator and nobody would know the difference with the medical waste? She did not want her baby.
So I just placed him in there.
Nurses who spoke with Treviso after the baby was discovered say she never asked about him. Instead, they say she was more concerned that she would get in trouble with her mother.
Did they have any comments?
Not one.
Really?
I was really surprised. Not one person asked me about the baby. If it was alive, if it was dead, if it was a boy, if it was a girl, no one asked me anything. She didn't even ask. No, she didn't ask. The only thing she started doing was crying and started talking about she didn't know what to do. Not one. I've never seen I've delivered multiple babies and I've seen multiple miscarriages and I've never seen a reaction like that. And I don't even know what to say about that. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
How would you describe the reaction?
I think there was no emotion except for herself. And she really wasn't even crying tears. She was just, and the only thing she was upset about was that I think she was going to be in trouble with her mother.
She didn't say anything about what had happened.
Mhm.
She was just essentially worried that she was just going to get in trouble.
So that's what I mean. Were those the questions she was asking?
Like,
Like, so
what's going to happen to me? Like that kind of thing.
Did she ever ask about the baby?
No.
Not once.
She essentially was scared. She was worried that she was going to get in trouble. She did have the back and forth with her mother. That was just about like, they had said, oh, the mom was upset because she had had sex and hadn't told her. So they were going back and forth on that. And then
There we go. The mother was upset because she had had sex and didn't tell her. Well, she's 19 years old. They hand out condoms anymore like they're candy canes at Christmas. But that was the concern. You didn't tell me. As if her mother doesn't understand female anatomy. Peach State Mama said, oh, we're past that part, Rosa. We're way past. So you're upset, Rosa, you narcissist, that she didn't tell you that she'd been on the boyfriend's pogo stick, as opposed to telling you that she's pregnant, as if you couldn't tell.
and she was just denying it, which was a little out of the, wasn't really deniable at that point in time.
Right.
So the patient was denying having sex at this point to her mom.
Yeah, she was trying to state that she was still a virgin.
After she came in from the bathroom.
Others believe.
So after, now again, the attorney is trying to get everything that happened before the bathroom and after thrown out. So everything we're hearing here, and trust me, there's way more. This is just what they have submitted to Law and Crime. The jury's going to hear way more. So what this joker's trying to do,
As tasty and delicious as it ever was. I'm Colonel Sanders. And I'm back, America. I'm back, America. It's still finger licking good.
what this idiot's trying to do is say the only thing we can talk about at trial is what happened in that bathroom. So the jury is supposed to ignore all medical evidence, the autopsy, the whole 9 yards, and only take her word for it. So with a jury, is she going to take the stand and say it wasn't breathing? I was scared, and then she thinks she's going to go home? Mm-mm.
On that, and then she was just denying it, which was a little out of the, wasn't really deniable at that point in time.
Right.
So the patient was denying having sex at this point to her mom.
Yeah, she was trying to state that she was still a virgin.
After she came in from the bathroom.
So she's still telling her mother, I'm a virgin, after she just gave birth and put her son in the trash can. Let's think about that. She goes and gets in the bed and is still telling her, I've never had sex, I'm a virgin. I mean, it's beyond lies at this point. Now, we're not worried about slut shaming. We're worried about murder.
Others believe Treviso knew she was up to no good.
She definitely knew what she was doing, and what was doing was wrong, because of the way she was talking to me, just stating, I didn't realize I was pregnant, and, but I'm taking birth control, so, I mean, she was panicked, but, I didn't see her being in a state of mind where she did not know what she was doing.
Multiple hospital staff members say the incident is not one they will soon forget.
When there's like one or two things in the wastebasket, I usually pick it up and take it out, but I didn't that night. And then, like, I've been kicking myself on this because I feel like, you know, if I would have just taken it out, I would have seen it.
Well, no one prepares for that type of thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Most people don't act like that. So don't blame yourself for it.
Yeah.
Because it's not a natural thing to do.
I mean, it's just hard because I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother. And I've dealt with death before, but never like this.
Right.
You know, like it was horrible.
I'm just going to tell you this. I've never, ever seen a reaction like that girl. I don't even know what to say about it. There was zero emotion. I don't even know what to say. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen women that are only married or not married, but pregnant for 6 weeks and they lose that baby and they're a mess. You know what I mean? That girl went into that bathroom, made no sounds at all, and the baby came out of her. And I don't even know how she functioned that way to do what she did and with no emotion. I've never seen anything like it.
And it was a pretty good sized baby. Pretty good size.
It looked term to me.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it was term. I can't tell you that was, but the only thing that upsets me the most is I understand she was scared, and I think her mother had a big dynamic on her, and I understand that. I mean, I think her mother was probably pretty controlling. I don't know that. I'm just speculation. But she gave me no chance to save that baby.
And this is going to make some toes curl with the jury. She gave me no chance to save that baby. None. And they're going to see pictures of the baby. They're going to hear his weight. They're going to see the hair on his head. They're probably going to demonstrate what suffocation is like in a newborn. And then again, they're going to hear this. These are life-saving professionals.
I understand she was scared, and I think her mother had a big dynamic on her, and I understand that. I mean, I think her mother was probably pretty controlling. I don't know that. I'm just speculation. But she gave me no chance to save that baby. I had no chance, and that's not what I do. My job is to save lives, and I had no chance on that baby. She gave me no chance. And we are a facility that you can drop the baby off, no questions asked. You can just leave the baby and go. I don't care, you know, as long as you bring the baby to a safe. We are one of those type of hospitals. So.
And they are a facility where you don't even have to give your name. You can just say, I'm ill-equipped. I can't do it. I'm going to go back and see my mother. Don't tell her I had this baby. Don't tell her. We are a facility where you can just hand the baby over. She gave me no opportunity to save the baby. It is insane. Then with all of this going on, I understand we're having a lot of recaps, but this argument is crazy about how she didn't know better. She didn't know better. She didn't know better. She didn't know better. Then, of course, there's the abortion debate. She could have had one if she wanted to. She was talking to her friends. She named the baby Alex. So even with all of this that went on at the hospital, this is what went down when they went to arrest her.
Knock on front. Alexees. Yeah. Yeah, Yeah, I think they went on.
I'll bring her out. Just tell me what's going on.
I will give it to her whenever.
Can I see her?
She can see the warrant when she gets arrested.
This is my house. I
Right.
have a right to see the warrant.
I'm letting you know she has a warrant for her arrest. We don't have a search warrant for your house. We have a warrant for her arrest.
Okay, can we see the warrant?
Yeah, once we
She gets a copy of it.
Can I go up there when you take her up there?
You can go to the detention. Do you know where it is?
Everything?
It's
Okay,
nowhere.
so what is she under arrest for?
She's over 18. She's got.
I understand that.
Right.
And I just love how they have to keep giving Rosa the obvious. She's over 18. She's over 18. So we're not going to deal with you, Rosa. She's over 18. Arrest her for what? Arrest her for what? You were there, Rosa. You confronted her and said, we talked about this. What did you do to it? Those were Rosa's words. We've talked about this. What did you do to it?
Detective Gonzalez, what is she under arrest for?
She has a warrant for arrest. Okay?
For what?
That's all I'm going to tell you. Okay?
What do you mean that's all you're going to tell me?
I mean, she's over the age of 18.
I understand that, but I have a right to know as well.
We'll tell you that. But
Okay, then let
Rosa is one lucky girl. Let me tell you. Not because she has a spectacular relationship with her daughter. If someone came to my house right now, the authorities, to arrest someone, and I wouldn't let them just go and get them, and I was giving them hell, I'd be in the pokey too. I'd be in jail too. She's lucky they didn't cuff her, throw her in the van, and then go in and get Alexei.
me know now. Let me know now. I'm giving you the cooperation. I told you answer my question. What is she under arrest for?
Like I said, she's over the age of 18. Like that we can't really put that information. But bring her out here.
What is she under arrest
Bring her out here,
for?
we'll tell you right now.
No, I'm not bringing her out here yet. Let me know what she's under arrest
She's gonna
for.
get arrested regardless. I don't know why.
For what? For what? For what?
You okay with telling me?
Tell me.
Homicide. Open count of homicide. And tampering with evidence.
Tampering with evidence?
Yes.
At the hospital?
No, at McDonald's when she was getting her Big Mac that she said made her fat. What do you mean at the hospital?
So, can we see her now?
Give me a minute.
Okay.
I have a right to see a warrant. It doesn't matter if she's over the age of 18. This is my house. You have a right. You have to show me that warrant. Even if she's under arrest, you have to show me the warrant.
Up to her to show us.
Sarah, this is Hey, I have the detectives here. They want to arrest my daughter. They're saying they have a warrant, but they can't show me a warrant for her arrest.
See, this is where we know that the American educational system failed Rosa badly. She's on the phone. Who knows who she's calling? Gary's receptionist, Mr. Boyfriend's mom, her neighbor, her husband, who knows? They have a warrant, but they won't tell me what it is because the warrant's not for you, bitch. They don't have to tell you.
You good? When we get to there, I'll give you a copy. She gets her copy. And then it's up to her.
Can I see the warrant?
It's an arrest warrant for her. It's
Okay,
not a
can I
search
see the
warrant for your
arrest warrant?
house.
I want to see the arrest warrant.
And what will that prove?
I love it. What's the arrest warrant for? Can I see the arrest warrant? He goes, and what will that prove? And she walks right back in the house. She knows she's getting nowhere with them, and they're being cool. They're being cool. She thinks she's got the upper hand, and everything she says, they're like, look, we're not going anywhere. I love it. He goes, and what will that prove? And she walks her ass back in the house.
You bet when this is over, I'm coming for the police department and the hospital. I am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. They're like, no shits to give. She's like, so when this is over, I'm coming for the police department and the hospital. They said, yes, ma'am. In the meantime, we have a warrant to serve, signed by a judge. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. You can get to suing. You'll have time while she's in jail.
Gary, this is Brooke. Gary.
Now, this is interesting. She has Gary on the phone. Gary, this is Rosa. Interesting to me that they're already on first name basis. This obviously is the case that's on his front burner. He did mention about how popular this case is, I believe is the words he used. But they're already on first name basis. Gary, this is Rosa. Rosa.
You bet when this is over, I'm coming for the police department and the hospital. I am.
Yes, ma'am.
Gary, this is Brooke. Gary. Is everything on your money? You're wanting to arrest me. Is it Okay. So I guess do I do what?
You could arrest mom for obstruction.
Yeah, we'll go there.
Trying to do that.
So he says right there, we can arrest mom. He goes, nah, we won't go there. They could have arrested her. And he goes, nah, we won't go there. I love that statement. I really wish they would have.
They said it's for homicide and tampering with evidence. Okay. Okay.
Probably just nosy neighbor.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, she's here. She's here right now. Yeah.
Oh, no. Might not be a nosy neighbor. Guess I put the better part of the job.
Could you please let her know?
That is his policy.
I will give it to you. Please.
So after she talks to Gary, and he may have even heard the officer in the background going, we should just arrest her too. He might have said, hang on. If you do this, you're going to have to pay me yet another retainer for me to defend you. So now she's off the phone, hands in the pockets, and she's pleading with them. She's pleading. Just please be nice. And if I was this officer, I'd say, Well, I mean, I'm not going to put a trash bag around her head and put her in the trash, but I mean, I'll treat her like every other criminal we take to jail. But that's just me.
You are. She ran away from 1002 West Washington.
It's nothing personal. It really isn't. And we understand, but we have to do our jobs too.
I understand that. I understand that.
That's Melanie. That's Devin's mom. She's good. She's okay.
We're not going to be rough with her or anything. We're just going to take her over there and book her.
Please don't be rough with her, please.
Just bring her out. You can be with her the entire time. Okay?
You know where the public safety complex is? 3200 West Main?
You can follow us over there. I will take you there. You can follow me over there.
As soon as I release the criminal complaint to her, she can then give it to you there, okay?
When can I get, like, her bond? What?
That's set up by the judge. It's Magistrate Judge Chuck Foster. He should be doing it. If it's after 3, he'll be doing it in the morning.
Love it. If it's after 3, he'll do it in the morning. So, in other words, she's going to be in jail overnight. And as we know, it didn't take long for her to get out. She was released, $100,000 bond, allowed to attend school and graduation, no ankle monitor, and has to go to counseling. Boo-hoo. But when she's pleading after she gets off the phone with the attorney, please be nice to her. Please be nice. Just don't be rough with her. I'd have been like, well, you know, honestly, I don't plan to put a trash bag around her head and put her face down in the trash, but I'm just going to treat her like everybody else we got to bring to the pokey.
Go on the back? All right.
Hi. What's your name?
Alexi.
Okay. What's the last 4 of your social?
She don't even know it.
You don't know it?
She don't even know it. What's it matter that Alexi doesn't know her social security number? And Alexi's actually not too worried about this whole situation. It's Rosa. And I don't think it's so much about what's going to happen with Alexi. I don't think it's so much, well, at all, about what happened to her grandson at the hands of Alexi. I think she's worried about NEWS. She's worried about this getting on the news.
Alexi, do you know your date of birth?
Yes.
Okay.
11/25/03.
Yeah.
Do you have to walk her all the way over there? Can you bring your car up here? Please.
Yeah.
That's all.
I'll go get it.
Alexi, are you okay with your mom getting your criminal complaint when we get to the detention center? It has your personal information
Can you
on
repeat that?
it. Are you okay with your mother getting the criminal complaint? It has your personal identifying information on it. Serial number, date of birth.
Yes.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. I have to serve you first, then your mom can get it, okay?
Okay.
I do. He's gonna move his unit around. No medications, anything you need to take while you're in there?
No, sir, no.
Okay.
She has still been like bleeding, so I don't know if she needs.
Do you have any? I don't know if they have tampons.
He's not a gynecologist. Just because she doesn't know her social and you're playing bodyguard at the door and she has a menstrual thing going on, she's still been bleeding. Come on, Rosa. And this is not your first rodeo. You've been to jail many times, Rosa.
Okay.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure if you take your own, you can use your own.
Can she? Do you want to grab some? Can she grab some of that right quick? Or?
Yes. Do you mind if
Get your little bag.
one of us goes with you?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just making sure you're doing.
Just grab it a little.
Okay. And just nothing sharp, no flammables, nothing sharp. Okay. Okay. They're gonna check it when you get over there. Okay.
Okay.
611 North 1st Street. 611 North 1st.
Okay, we'll check those. Same thing. Okay, we're gonna check all that when you get over there. Okay.
Real quick, why was Maria timed out? Seems that we hit the wrong button on here. She didn't say anything wrong. Those accidents happen. Maria, please don't be upset.
Flammables, nothing sharp. Okay. Okay, they're gonna check it when you get over there. Okay.
Okay. Confirms that address is 611 North 1st Street. 611 North 1st.
Okay, we'll check those. Same thing. Okay, we're gonna check all that when you get over there. Okay. Thank you.
I'm going up there right now too, okay?
All right. What's in there?
Personal pads.
Personal pads?
Yeah, she needs them.
Follow me.
3300 West Main Street, Public Safety Complex. If you just go through the front door, you know where we first spoke in the records?
Yeah.
If you just go over there. Is there any four?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll meet her in the front.
Okay. I'll get with him and do all stuff. Go to dispatch.
Okay. We'll meet you in the front. Okay.
We're Tampa. I'll be headed your way shortly.
Or relay the rest.
I'll be headed your way for the relay shortly. Okay. Alexi, here's your criminal complaint. Well, I want to ask you before I give it to your mom, are you okay with her getting that information? Serial number, all that? Okay. Would you want to keep this to read or would you want to give this to your mom or would you want her to have a copy?
You can just give it to her.
Okay, you don't want to read it?
Right now, yeah, I will.
Okay. All right, the next one is a search warrant for your person. Okay? This is for you. Your date of birth, your social security number. I'm going to be searching your person. What I'm going to be doing is getting a buccal swab sufficient for laboratory testing. Okay? This is both yours to keep. Okay? I'll make a copy so you can read it and your mom can get one, okay? Have you ever been to the doctor's office?
Like recently?
No, just in your life.
Yes.
Okay, you know when they do a swab of your mouth to see if you have a cold, something like that?
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to be doing. All I need you to do is open your mouth wide, like you're yawning. I'm just going to touch the inside of your mouth with a swab, with a cotton swab. That's all I need, okay? It's painless. There's nothing else added to it. It's just cotton, okay? Here. All right, can you open your mouth for me? Okay. All right. Almost done. All right.
That's called DNA. They're getting your DNA, Alexi. This is not a pregnancy test. They're not checking for mouth wax. They're getting your DNA. They've also been asking for Mr. Boyfriend's DNA, and thus far, he hasn't provided it.
Now I'm just going to do one more pair, okay? Okay, one more time, okay? I want to do the other side of your mouth. All right, that's it. You don't want to read them? Well, of course, I'd like one.
Right here. 3, 2, 1. Face your whole body this way, looking forward. You parking the front or the back?
The back.
Now face the other direction.
Pull your hair back a little bit, please.
You guys want to sign? Who wants to sign? I need to sign.
One right there, one right there.
One.
Right there, and one right
I
there.
sign?
Yes.
Okay. Because I did witness it.
No, I'll give you a copy for yours.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
That says signature on our top or other witness.
If you finish.
Let me finish reading it, sir. I'm sorry. There you go.
Okay. And I'll get you a copy for you.
What you got so far? That one. 2, that one, that one.
I'm hard to find, sir.
Is that mine? I think mine.
I believe it's mine, sir. And we did it approximately 4:30 p.m.
Hmm?
Yeah, that is mine. Don't take my pen. And this is just showing you, this goes with this one. It's showing you, I got 2 pairs of buccal swabs sufficient for lab testing, okay? There's the 2 we got from you, okay? We can make you a copy.
It's fine. You can just give it to my mom.
So both, all of it?
Sure.
Okay. If you want a copy, you can get it from him, or if I'm here, you can get it from me, okay?
Rosa knows what happens when the police show up with a warrant. She knows. From a friend of ours, I love this channel, Back on My BS. She goes through Rosa's record. Give it to my mom, please. I'd keep your mom out of it. Actually, I would have let her continue to raise hell, and then they would have arrested her too.
Hey y'all, I am back with my bullshit. I cannot even with Alexees Treviso right now. I'm just like finding out everything about her today, and I'm a little overwhelmed with the information. So I am going to be posting this tomorrow, which is Monday, because my upload schedule that I'm trying to stick to is Friday, Sunday, Monday. And I already uploaded for today. And none of this is like breaking. Well, I guess it might be, but well, if it gets broken before tomorrow, then I guess it's my fault for not posting it today. But anyway, I have found more criminal records for Alexees' mother, Rosa Rivas. And we are going to watch a clip from my previous video where I detail Rosa's already extensive criminal history. And then we are going to get into the previously unreleased charge that I just found out about. So let's get into it.
Mom had an extensive criminal history
for forging checks. So her mom is also an extremely dishonest person, and these arrests happened in Colorado. So a lot of people.
This is a younger Rosa that was forging checks. Okay? It's not that she didn't know how much money was in her account. There's a little more to it than that.
People have been saying that they are from Artesia, New Mexico, but that is not true. They are actually from Colorado. So that is 4 different times that she was arrested, and that was from Gaines, Colorado. Out of those 4 different arrests, she was charged with 6 different crimes. Twice she was charged with disorderly conduct, and 4 times she was charged with faking checks, so check fraud. And these are from 2004 to 2014, so they would have been when Alexee was a baby to about 10 years old. So her mom definitely has a history. And then it turns out that that isn't even where the history stops. So in July 17th of 2004, so when Alexee was only 7 months old, the Department of Corrections in Texas charged her with driving while intoxicated with a child under 15 years of age in the car. And she pled guilty and took a 5-year probation sentence. And we know that she has ties to Texas because, so get this, this is the lady who hit and run my car in Waco, Texas. She is the mother of a daughter who recently got arrested for killing her own newborn.
So this is what I found today. And we know that Rosa lived in Colorado because, like I said, we just went over all of her arrests from 2004 to 2014 in Gaines, Colorado. But this is from June 27th, 2012. And it looks like she lived in Pueblo, Colorado, at least briefly as well. So this would have been when Alexee was 8 years old. Rosalinda Rivas, 29, of the 2000 block of East 13th Street, was arrested Monday on warrants for bond revocation and identification theft. She was being held in jail in lieu of a $50,000 bail. Bro. So she's got 4 check forgery charges already, 2 disorderly conduct charges. She has her DUI while driving with a baby from Texas. And then this, identification theft and bond revocation. And this is before the hit and run in Texas. So that's before this. But yeah, so just absolutely absurd. So kind of going along the same train of thought, there's been some thoughts as to how is Alexee's mom affording this defense. And so shout out to the Rabbit Hole. They provided these screenshots, and we're going to go ahead and read them now. Okay, so this is allegedly from one of Alexee's classmates. I have not verified who this person is. I am just going off of the fact that another channel has decided to use these, so they find them credible. And, you know, this is just my opinion based on what I'm reading. Do you know how her family could have possibly gotten all the money for her bail and attorney fees? Because I know her attorney isn't cheap, and there's a rumor going around that Mac Chase might have helped with that, but I don't know if that's entirely true or not. Which I don't know who the fuck Mac Chase is. If you do, please let me know in the comments. Thank you. It's just what a few other people said. And then the classmate says, both Alexei and Devin acted as if nothing happened. At first they were quiet about it, then acted normal. Alexei in and outside of school is very entitled, snooty, and self-centered. She was a good friend, but at times let her ego get in the way. She always has worn baggy and loose-fitting clothes since freshman year. Her family is very strict, especially her mom, but her mom is also a very nice lady. Alexei comes from a kind family. And her mom always has nice things, rather that being Gucci, Louis, Chanel, Lululemon. Alexei, mom, believe I has her own little business making sensies for cars. I'm unaware of what her stepdad did, but I know that they had money. What about Devin and his family? And has Devin said anything to anyone about the situation since it happened that you know of? Devin comes from a very kind family as well. I didn't know Devin as well as I did Alexei. I'm unaware of if Devin has told anyone. I do know Devin has been cheating on Alexei for a while. And the day she was arrested, Alexei had found out Devin cheated on her. Devin has always been...
And that has been circulating for quite a while from the kids at the school. That everyone knew Alexei was pregnant. They knew that she wanted a boy. They knew she was going to name the boy Alex. So when they ask who this Mac Chase guy is, he has what's called the Chase Foundation in Artesia, New Mexico. Mac Energy Corporation is committed to being an advocate of the communities around us. We invest in community initiatives that focus on youth, education, and innovative products, helping good people do great things. He's an old millionaire in their town.
Been one of the well-known students rather than Alexei being more to herself. Of all the days to find out you're being cheated on, man, that is just like to add insult to injury. To find out that your boyfriend's cheating on you and then you get locked up for 6 days. That is shitty. That is real shitty timing. So at least to me, in just my stupid layman mind, it makes 100% sense that someone like Rosa, who commits fraud regularly, would be able to finance, you know, like Gucci and Louis Vuitton and an expensive ass defense attorney. And it's probably not through legal means because, I mean, look, it's Rosa. It looks like Rosa never makes her money legally. That's why she left Colorado. That's why she left Texas. That's why she's in New Mexico, honey. Like she's been leaving all the states where she keeps getting caught up. And she just hasn't got caught up in New Mexico yet. Being the big word. Yet. And then we're going to go into the whole...
Yet. So she has bailed out herself many times. So for her to be so verklempt, who are you showing up with a warrant? For what? Murder? Tampering with evidence? You mean at the hospital? Well, evidence would definitely be a dead body. Then on top of that, she wants to keep everything on the down low. No one to know about this. No one. Too embarrassing. No one's to know. But it hits the news. It hits the news. And I think that's exactly what she didn't want. So she's playing Billy Badass, saying, I'm going to come after your police department. I'm going after the hospital. And he's like, okay, cool. So in the meantime, I have a warrant and I'm taking her to jail. Why they are so kind to them can only be for one reason. And that would be the affiliation with Mac Chase. That's the only sense I can make out of it. The only sense I can make. Because he's got big money and big cojones around Artesia. And there is a connection between him and Rosa. Doesn't mean that a jury isn't going to find Alexees guilty. Because thus far, she has gotten every little slap on the hand that has gone on. And again, like I said, we have this petition that's out to keep her from going to the university in Las Cruces. Not a good year for old Rosa, that was trying to move forward in society as a upstanding citizen. Doesn't work that way. They can prove easily, not that I'm a doctor, that little baby Alex was born alive. He had air in his lungs and his belly. If a baby is born dead, why would you put a trash bag just around his head? Why? Why would you put a plastic bag around anyone's head, let alone your child? You know what? And good luck on this. Because the statements from the hospital are damning. Big time. Do you guys want a little bit of positivity? Because I know this show has been deep and it's really hard to hear. So let's do it. All right. I love seeing these stories about animals. I do. Sorry for the interruption we just had. That person's gone. I don't care how many accounts these people make. They can go find someone else to mess with, or they can just make their own channel. The internet's a big place. But I love these stories about animals. You guys know that I have a Bombay cat that keeps me hopping. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to work with OJ. I'm going to get OJ to be a police cat. Could you imagine if I showed you a video and I'm like, look at this. OJ just ran down a bunch of criminals. OJ sniffed out a drug bust. OJ, everyone has faith in you, so please don't shortchange yourself. All right, guys, this has been a great show. Thanks for sticking around for the positivity, because nothing positive about this case. Going to be back in a couple of hours. We're going to live stream the Murdaugh press conference. They want a new trial. They are saying that there is new evidence. Good news is they have the same judge, and hopefully before he retires, he gets to read the motion. So I'll see you guys back here in a couple of hours, and stay safe, stay cool. Thanks for being the best chat and best community on YouTube. You guys are the best.